What's up guys, Bacon here. So I need a place to stack my wood for the summer so that it dries and is ready for winter. What I'm going to do here, and what I've done off camera, is I've collected a bunch of scrap skids from my local tractor dealership, and off camera I have secured the skids at the bottom on both sides. This way it all becomes one unit. Now if you don't want to do this stuff, you can go ahead and you can get a wooden or a metal stacking tray from Amazon or Canadian Tire or your tractor supply store or wherever, and you can do it that way. Me, I like to save some money, so I've collected scrap skids to do it. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to build almost a crate for me to stack the wood in. That way it's all compact and out of the way from back here. Stick with me and we'll go through it together. So my plan is to put 2x4s at the ends, on both ends, part of it through the middle, and at the other end of the stack. This way it creates a wall so that it kind of holds all the wood together. And as I move the pile and stack it onto these skids, I'm going to extend it with the other pile of skids that way. And what we'll do is we'll keep doing it along the tree line until everything is ready, and then we'll start stacking. So the tools we're going to need for this project are an impact driver, measuring tape, enough screws to get the job done, and a saw. That is all. Oh, and maybe you'll need a pencil. Yeah, get a pencil. You probably need that.
Didn't take me very long, but this is the final result. It's not quite finished. I might put a top plate up the top here and across. I'm not sure yet. Again, this is just to hold firewood. I'm not living in it. You do not need to know or have as many skills to do this. You don't need to be a woodworker. You don't need to be a carpenter, whatever. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's just to hold firewood. Do what works for you. At the end of the day, if somebody's going to criticize your work, well, that shows more about them than it does you. It doesn't matter. Do what you're comfortable with. As you can tell, I'm clearly not a carpenter. I clearly have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. However, it works for me, and it should be just fine.
Thanks for joining me today. Maybe I'll do a follow-up video here eventually to show you how it all worked out, but this was my Saturday afternoon. If you enjoy my content, please like and subscribe. Thanks for showing up, guys. See you next time.